My name's Anthony Betts, and I've been tattooing for about 2 years now. And I really got into it just because I've been drawing all my life. My notebook was filled with drawings instead of notes. I always knew growing up that I wanted to do something artistic, and this is just really what I fell into, and I love it.
Tattooing is a lifestyle to me. I pray and I meditate in the morning and I work out and I eat a good breakfast. This way I'm more able to be centered when it comes to doing a long session or even a small session.
I like to just put in a little bit of music, draw on my iPad, get cooled down. I'll go to the bathroom and do everything I need to do beforehand, and then just listen to some music, chill out, talk with the client, and then I'll be ready to go.
Pretty much just get the blueprint of the tattoo down. All the detail and everything comes from my head. I'll just sit back, put my headphones on, and zone out.
It's like when you go into like a sports game or something and you step on that court and they kind of go away. Like I start to put my gloves on and wrap up my machine and stuff, and it's like, all right, it's chill.
There's that 3-hour tattoo session, but there's the 4 hours of drawing before that session and really understanding what you're doing before you put it onto someone's skin. If I had to go back in time, I would tell myself to really focus on drawing, understanding the techniques when it comes to tattooing, and not just jumping in head first and then messing people up. There's so much work that goes into tattooing behind the actual tattoo session that needs to be done.
I was able to meet my artist before I started working here. Nabeen, the artist here, he tattooed me a couple years back. I think it's really cool working alongside my artist because I plan on getting a lot more work done from him, and I definitely see a future here in this company and maybe just in the industry itself.
The first one I ever got and sat down in the chair, I was definitely nervous, wondering about if it would hurt or not. And then once the needle starts hitting you and the first 5-10 minutes, you really get used to it. And I'd probably just tell them to breathe and try not to think about it too much, because honestly, I think that's the big thing. People just get to thinking about it too much and kind of overthink it in their head. And they'll thinking it's going to be worse than it is, and then it starts and you're like, oh, okay, this ain't bad.
If you're coming in for your first tattoo, you could expect either me or another artist to treat you like a friend and really take you through a process that's going to be professional, and we're going to do whatever you want.
I feel like it's a great opportunity for people to be able to come in, ask about a tattoo, sit down, have lunch with their artist, be able to maybe connect on a deeper level, be able to communicate with some of the staff members and just see who they are as people rather than just a person providing a service. Getting to know your artist, getting to know your piercer, I feel like is just a really important part of what we provide here. You know,
some of my favorite moments in tattooing is when the client gets up and looks at their tattoo and just smiles because they're so happy with the work that I did on them. Experience is a big thing for me too, but at the end of the day, my main goal is to give you the best tattoo possible and the best outcome possible, the best tattoo that's going to last a lifetime.
I was excited to see it done. It looks great. A little in pain, but great. First off, he wiped me down clean, sprayed a little bit of bag team to help with a little bit of irritation and redness. And then he gives me a little bit of Aquaphor and then wraps it up with a nice patch. And I just leave this on for a couple hours. And then once I take it off, I just wipe it down with a paper towel, pat it dry, and let it get air for the rest of the day. I mean, honestly, I do it a little bit different than everyone. I'll use Aquaphor the first day or two and then really don't put anything on it the rest of the time in sealing. And just let it do its thing and dry and flake off. I'll wash it down with soap and stuff when I'm in the shower, obviously, but other than that, that's about it. Now that I'm done with my tattoo, I'm just gonna go down to the cafe they got downstairs, grab a refresher, talk to the cute girls for a little bit. Might get a scone or two, and then be on about my day.
So normally with his sleeve, I just design it all. I just draw stuff up and I go, hey, we're doing this. That's how it gives me creative freedom to just do whatever I want. You get the best tattoos like that when you just give your artist creative freedom. I'm an artist, a tattoo artist. Most people aren't, so I know exactly what's gonna look good and what's not. When people really give me the creative freedom to do whatever I want, that's when you get these magnificent, just dialed in tattoos.
Technology has just come such a far way in tattooing. The machines are different. We went from coil machines to rotaries. We went from drawing everything on paper to doing everything digitally. Everything's different about tattooing. In our society today, tattoos don't have the same connotation as they used to. Criminals would get tattoos or sailors would get tattoos. Nowadays, everyone has tattoos. The stigmatism behind tattooing is slowly fading and fading. And I feel like the longer time that passes, the more it's going to be accepted in our society.
I'm pretty versatile when it comes to tattoo work. Pretty much do anything. I choose not to do portraits because it's a sensitive subject. People like the way I present myself. People like the way that I communicate.
Styles I like doing is illustrative, I guess traditional, neo-traditional drawings. I like doing color or just black and gray. Anything with thick, bold lines and a lot of black I'm into, so.
You have this idea that might not look the best on skin, but I could take this idea and make it tattooable and it will look good on the skin. Most of the time I collaborate with my clients and I try to give you the best design that you want.
What is it like to work in a tattoo shop as a manager in Salisbury, Maryland? So one time, this was before I started working here, we had a special and the cops ended up getting called because there was a guy who was in line for the piercing special who had a gun on him and he was running from the police because he stole from a nearby shop. So I was piercing this girl one time. Everything was fine and she was fine and everything was good. I stuck the first needle in because it was a two-part piercing. So I pierced one side and then I went to go pierce the other side. And as soon as I tried to go stick the needle in, she reached up, she grabbed my arm, and I pierced the piercing crook in. So I had to have her come back 30 days later because she decided that it was a good idea to grab her piercer.
I would love for you guys to come in and see me, whether it's morning for breakfast or for dinner, we'll be here. Just come in, grab a drink, grab a pastry, grab a sub, whatever you need, we have it. I'm excited to see you guys.
Basically, the way this place started was a friend of mine was a tattoo artist. He was wanting to start tattooing in a shop. He had had some experience working at other places. They were negative experiences, and he was like, man, I wish you had a shop. At the time, I was running a few other businesses. I had the space available, and so he had sort of asked me like, man, is this something that we could do? And I said, let me think about it or whatever. I really wasn't interested at that time in being in the tattoo business. And the way he sort of pitched it to me was, man, there's a lot of people in my situation who want a tattoo. We just don't want a tattoo for the people that we can go and tattoo under at this time, right? I think that they were sort of looking for almost like something different, right? Because most tattoo shops are run by guys that, started off tattooing, started off in that, industry. I had a building that was available, so we took the building. It was in the industrial park, Salisbury. It was like less than 1,000 square feet. Basically, I had the front office section of a building because we were using the back section for one of my shops. So that 1,000 square foot was sort of sitting there and it had its own front door. And I said, you know what, man, we'll try it in here and we'll see what happens. Just see how it goes. At the time, there was only 2 tattoo shops in Salisbury. This was 2016, so this would make us the 3rd. And, as a businessman, I had been tattooed at one of the other 2 shops in town. It had been a decade before, and I had never been to the other one. A lot of people live in Salisbury. There's only 2 shops at the time. We opened up. We hired one other artist and my buddy who wanted me to do it. Yeah, it's time to get excited, man. It's going to be a new experience. And it's going to be something like when people come in this door, I spend a lot of time standing up top there and I'll stare down at this door. And people who walk in here for their first time they're literally amazed. Like they've never seen anything like it. And I'm in my 40s. I've been all across the country. I've never seen anything like it, right? Like there's nothing like this, to my knowledge, anywhere. And listen, we do a lot of things different here that other shops do not do. And when people, even when I hire new artists, they're like, man, dude, I've never worked anywhere that this. It's like, well, yeah, you've never worked in a 6,000 square foot tattoo shop either, right? That sells subs and coffee and clothes and keeps you busy every day, all day, right? So, a lot of these guys are used to sitting in small strip mall shops.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm the manager here at Three Tides Cafe, located inside Sailor's Asylum. I would like you to feel at home when you come in. You can get a drink, something to eat. Even when you're getting a tattoo, you can come over and we can get you whatever you need. So just come on in and relax, have a good time. We have great atmosphere, great food, great staff, flaky pastries, baked fresh every morning. You won't regret it.